Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time doing another Spongebob SquarePants episode review. And this one is on the Krusty Sponge. Now as you know, the Krusty Sponge is meant to be an episode from season 5. And aired in the United States on July the 24th, 2007, and in the UK in Dublin in November the 9th, 2007. I think the best way I can sum up the episode's message is how, a producer, a sort of director, or a sort of parent will exploit this sort of product, their kid, and that to make money after the project and the child actor becomes a huge success. And the premise of the episode is meant to follow how, after a sort of food critic who's meant to be voiced by and modelled after Gene Sellet, gives a positive review about SpongeBob, and we see how Mr. Krabs sees this as a golden opportunity to do a Krusty Krab SpongeBob theme stuff after getting a positive review about SpongeBob. And the best way I can sum it up is how when a project becomes successful, a producer, a writer, or a kind of a film producer will see things as kind of golden tickets to get something a bit more popular. And this did happen with Lawrence Krestinoff, who had Threshold Entertainment, who wanted to do something bigger with the Mortal Kombat series. Or it's Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams wanting to do something with Star Wars, as well as, looking at how child actors back at the time who had parents would see their kid getting well-known and famous and using it as dollar signs to get money. And we do kind of see how, much like any parent or producer, would kind of do things to get their kids kind of well-known in shopping malls. They would kind of do these themes with their sort of projects and everything else. And we do kind of see how, Mr. Krabs even goes as far as to do SpongeBob themed Krabby Patties that ends up with him getting into trouble. And this does remind me a lot like what happens with most people, because it reminds me of the whole Star Wars Galactic Cruiser, after what happened with it becoming a total flop and losing more money, and the same with the toys. Or it's kind of like looking at the Mortal Kombat stuff, because after the second Mortal Kombat movie, it would take a long time just to do another Mortal Kombat movie, and the reboot one coming out in 2001. Or it's like with most parents, after their kids become well-known or famous, they end up kind of getting into trouble. They end up kind of taking things like drugs, alcohol, or end up quitting acting due to being typecasted, or even worse. And I think the episode does a good job in showing how when something gets well-known, when something gets famous, or when kind of a parent's child becomes well-known or famous, or they end up kind of going the distance, but you can tell the parents still see their kids as this golden ticket to get more money. And it shows you that Mr. Krabs ends up kind of exploiting SpongeBob like a parent would do with their kids when they become an actor. And I think it really shows you just how, even back then, the writers for Season 5 were trying to warn us about being careful of these sort of things, being a bit aware of it, and how, when a critic gives a positive review, people will see things as dollar signs. They will show no guilt and remorse for their actions. And there's a reason why you gotta be careful when things like money, exploitation, as well as using people and projects as a money-making opportunity can land you into serious trouble. And again, the episode is basic, but it definitely knows the message it is trying to say. and there's a reason you've got to be open-minded about being careful of viewing things like a big opportunity. So I think this one definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.